I had a long recovery in physical therapy to go from wheelchair to walker to crutches to cane. There was no shoe that you could buy off a shelf that would fit it. There was no, sneakers I could wear. I realized pretty quickly on in my own mind that I would want to amputate my right leg electively to get more mobility. The phrase I always used was, in describing it was, limitation versus potential. I knew what I was limited to in the use of my new constructed foot. When I left the hospital, my right leg couldn't even be lifted an inch off the bed, a half inch off the bed. I would have to literally pick it up and drop it. The foot that they had built for me would break down often, would develop sores. You couldn't fit in anything reasonable in terms of a shoe or what have you. And I was walking almost a bit hunched over.
Whenever we're in public, they're staring, and only when my dad wears shorts if you can see his amputation leg.
I went through a little bit of depression. I mean, the hospital stay is tough. I mean, multiple months in a hospital. My hands were wrapped, so I was very limited. The nurses would have to feed me. The challenge is to literally stay in the day, in the moment, in the hour, and just try to keep fighting. It gets tough at times. My wife, of course, was incredible in supporting me and keeping my mind on what do we do to get better. Holding my hand while my wounds and all would be cleaned each day, which was very painful. So. Certainly couldn't have done it without her.
I would say 50% is Donna, and certainly other family support, but mostly Donna, because she never, ever, ever admitted, accepted that he would die.
The drive to get better for them, and to, I was constantly thinking, when can I get out of the hospital? And even if I'm ill, and even if I'm not 100% and don't have all my parts, just to be sitting on the couch with them, I knew would make a great difference. So that drove me to get better and get home as soon as I could.
I help him a little bit and we get through it. So I don't think life has changed so dramatically since his illness in terms of that, but it has gotten better in terms of other things and in terms of the way that Michael deals with other people and in our relationship with each other and with the children.
Since amputation of my right leg, I can wear a pair of sneakers, I can wear a pair of bike shoe on my left rather. I have running legs, I have a bike leg. Yeah, it clicks into the pedal. Today I feel, that I can do anything anyone else can do. Some things a little differently, but I don't feel there's something out there that I couldn't accomplish because of what I went through.
He goes almost every weekend and during the week to go running to the track. Sometimes I come with him.
Actually, about 82% of the cases today can be prevented for someone that had the vaccine. I started to reach out and find others that had it, and I came across a wonderful organization called National Meningitis Association.
When I contracted meningitis, I was 4 years old.
I was 19 years old when I was stricken with meningitis, a form of bacterial meningitis.
So I met this organization and they were wonderful and let me know I wasn't alone, which is therapeutic itself to find out there are others out there that went through the same challenge. And I started to meet other survivors, amazing people, most of them young, like I said, high school, college.
I left my family in Maine after the holiday and got back to New York, and like 24 hours later they were told to come down and say goodbye.
spread awareness that there's a vaccine. And we do this through one-on-one, we do it through PTA presentations, high school presentations, colleges, emergency room, doctors, physicians. We offer a number of health or training guides that schools can use in the classroom and health classes. I help them with answering their phones and their support line and speaking to people that have questions about the disease or the vaccine.
The look on his face with helping the children or helping to give information about the vaccination for meningitis, it makes him very happy and fulfilled, and I enjoy seeing his happiness.
He's there for everybody. He's always there for anybody who needs him.
I've been lucky enough to team up and mentor other survivors. Again, when you're just out of this, you have no idea what the disease is, you have no idea, you feel like you're one in a million that this happened to you. So speaking to someone that's gone through it is very helpful. In linking up with them, again, it's been another amazing experience. When you think you have challenges, I go and sit in their office and I can see what other people, children, are dealing with on a daily basis. And that's sort of been a blessing as well in helping me move on and make something of what's happened to me. The other great thing that Step Ahead does is they go much more than just delivering legs. They really, give you your life back and make dreams come true. Often I'll get a call from someone who's just lost a limb and or is making the decision to amputate and want to talk to someone that's gone through it. So on 2 or 3 occasions I've made trips to the hospital and someone just days after becoming ill or been in an accident and want to talk to someone, to see me having gone through it on a prosthesis and walking into their hospital room as if I'm walking fine is a tremendous lift for them and for their families to know that their loved one is going to have a normal life again.
Might be slightly tall on the right side.
His progress was fantastic. He never looked back. We always went forward, and it was an interesting process on the design aspect of figuring out the partial foot on his left leg opposed to the right leg.
To me, I think it was a great sign of his recovery and of his determination and his motivation. And to see the effort he had to put into running the marathon, he achieved a lot of goals, and he knows that there's a lot of other goals I think he wants to achieve, both physically and his life.
He inspires a lot of other people, and it's a very strong tool for us to use in our practice as such a success story and what he's been able to overcome and achieve that makes it so worth, using him to help out others.
Even someone like myself who works full-time can still accomplish these things, and that was a great feeling to go back in November of '09 and run the New York City Marathon. Took me longer than it did before, but I finished it, and that was a great accomplishment.
His ability to recover is really a function of his athleticism prior to the illness, I believe, and many people believe, because he had been a runner. That's part of the ability. That was, I think, 50% of it was that, and 50% of it was that because his bloods, he was in such great condition. This would have killed him otherwise, but he was such a great runner and athlete, and he had done an Ironman that year.
actually my soccer coach. He can still play soccer and just not like run. He can still like kick it and practice with us.
I'm very proud of him, and I'm very, very proud of everything that he has accomplished. We took on the challenges that he was faced coming home from the hospital with his recovery, and we figured it out. It wasn't always easy, but we figured it out and we just moved ahead.
He's become an inspiration. People who have tragedies like this, you know, either die or become a real inspiration to the rest of us, don't they?
I think that without a doubt, physically he's strong, but mentally he's even stronger.